Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about volunteerism. And that's why we're honored to have with us Mary Martin, Development Director with Hands On Nashville. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me, Jeremy.
Absolutely. Hands On Nashville, when you talk about the work you do, obviously locally well-known, regionally well-known, even nationally well-known, but let's make sure that everyone knows you and Hands On Nashville. So give us a little bit of backstory for Hands On Nashville.
Yeah, so Hands On Nashville, we have been in the community for over 30 years. We are a nonprofit volunteer resource center. And so what that means is that we're a volunteer hub that partners with about 160 other nonprofit organizations, schools, and civic organizations, and really help get volunteers to connect with their service needs. Volunteers can go to our website, hon.org, and see about 300 to 500 different volunteer opportunities happening every month, and you can sign up to give back.
You make it very, very easy to find and also track volunteerism, to get engaged in meaningful giving with your physical time and efforts in serving these nonprofits. Talk about why this is so important. I think, it is one of those that, hopefully everyone knows the importance of volunteerism. But, when you talk about volunteerism, we talk all the time about how it connects you with people who care about others, who care about the community. They're going to care about you. So it puts you in this amazing, area with others who deeply care. So you get to build some purpose-driven relationships. You get to physically make a difference and lift your community. The nonprofits rely on your physical service. You gain confidence, leadership skills. Like, there's so much to it. But from your vantage point, talk about the importance of volunteerism.
Yeah, absolutely. I could go on and on and on, but, from the get-go, we have so many different nonprofit organizations in the Middle Tennessee area. But a lot of these people who work for the nonprofits wear multiple hats. The nonprofits that we work with at Hands On Nashville, on average, they have 2, maybe 4 staff members. And so they really do rely on volunteer support. So volunteers provide, direct service, but they also do those administrative tasks that you may not necessarily think about every day. So you might have a volunteer who comes in and looks at your database and helps you revamp your customer relationship management platform. Providing those skills that, 4 people may have, but they may not have the time to dedicate to advance their mission forward. And so that's really what volunteerism provides to our nonprofit community. We would not be able to serve our neighbors without our volunteers. And I specifically work in the corporate partner program and helping companies give back. And that's a whole other aspect when it comes to meaningful volunteerism, using your resources for good.
Touch on that specifically, because it's one thing to recruit volunteers one at a time. The benefit of engaging the corporate side is that you're recruiting groups. You're creating an army of do-gooders by going to the corporate side. So share a little of that perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hands On Nashville, we partner with several different businesses in the area and helping them give back to the communities in which they work. And the power that a large group of volunteers can bring in a short amount of time to a nonprofit is incredible. We'll have like a group of 50 people at a school in Metro Nashville Public Schools, and the before and after that a group of that size has on that partner is incredible, in only 2 to 3 hours worth of time.
Touch on the convenience side, the flexibility side. When you talk about volunteerism, it could be an hour, it can be longer, it can be a little bit of training on the front end, or just show up and plug in. So share a little of those different nuances when it comes to working with the nonprofits and engaging meaningfully.
Yeah, that's what I love about Hands On Nashville's website, is that it makes it super convenient to volunteer. If you're like me, you're really busy, and you want to give back, but you might not have a whole day to do so. And so our calendar allows you to pick a day and time that works best for your schedule. So say you have a Friday afternoon off, you're out of your meetings and you're like, hey, my family doesn't get out of school, off of work until 5 o'clock, and I have 2 hours to kill. You can easily go to our website and find a volunteer opportunity happening at that time and sign up. And it allows you also to filter based on your interest areas. So say you're really passionate about working with animals or working in the environment or with refugees and immigrants. We pretty much have it all on our website. And it allows you to be able to give back and give back conveniently.
Talk about a recent merger coming together that's opening up access for additional counties. And so share a little bit of the good news.
Yes, we're thrilled about the opportunity to join the United Way of Greater Nashville. This is a new strengthened partnership. We've partnered together for many, many years now. And oftentimes the work that we do complements each other. And so by joining the United Way of Greater Nashville, we're able to strengthen the support for our existing nonprofit partners here in Davidson County, but also bring more volunteer resources into additional counties that neighbor Davidson. The area that Hands On Nashville primarily works in is here in Nashville and Davidson County with a couple of partners in Williamson, but United Way serves 9 counties. And so we've heard a loud cry from our nonprofit community, residents who want to give back in neighboring counties, and this will allow us the relationships to be able to bring more support to the broader region of Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, and I think that's an important piece of this is that, when you look at what you're doing in one area in terms of your footprint, hearing the, opportunities and the need in other areas and saying, okay, what makes the most sense for us to step in and, start to provide the solutions, but have the relationships, the institutional knowledge, and those, that side of it, and then carry that into the need around, okay, how do we equip and engage volunteers and plug them in meaningfully, and all the things that you all do so well, but to make it kind of turnkey, it makes perfect sense to, instead of go at it alone, go at it together. And so collaboration is the key to success, especially when you talk about the work you're doing. What makes you most excited when you look at the opportunity to expand and do more? What makes you the most excited looking forward?
It makes me excited to be able to get more volunteers into our community. We know that there is a desire to give back, and we see that there is a decline, though, in community involvement, especially after COVID. We know that there is this gap in social connection, and so being able to foster that connection, meaningful connection, and to bring about good beyond Davidson County and Williamson County into the broader Middle Tennessee area, and to get more volunteers and be able to really be stronger together. I just think it makes a lot of sense, and I'm excited for what's to come.
Yeah, let's dive in deeper on that gap, because I think this is important for all the listeners and the viewers too on the side. So we've got TV and radio all together in one, which makes this nice. But let's dive in on this gap, because I think when you look at what's going on in, local communities, nationally, globally, polarization is continuing to increase and really at an all-time high. I mean, you turn on the 10 o'clock news and everything is around this polarization that we're seeing play out firsthand. Well, what's the thing that actually brings us together? What's the thing that crosses over different races, religions, socioeconomic levels? It's volunteerism. Volunteerism is the thing that brings our communities together. And so I think volunteerism is needed now more than ever. And so, we talk a lot about just kind of that, where we are and why you're seeing what you're seeing play out, but how volunteerism is the solution. And so you have to take an active role in inviting others to volunteer, being a part of that physical service. But then, like we talked about earlier on, you start to power the good, but you also start to see the good and see the good in others that brings the community together. So carry that into kind of your lens around this gap and what, volunteerism does to be a solution with that gap and to bring our communities together for hope and healing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're right. When you're watching the news, there's a plethora of issues that can get anyone really riled up and to really, you know, get frustrated in where our society is heading. And volunteerism allows you to take one small step and do something about it. It is 3 hours of your time maximum. That's usually like the maximum amount of time we ask for volunteers to give. And it allows you to put faces with the issues that you're seeing and develop relationships with your neighbors. You're able to meet new people, network, learn a new skill, maybe even get a new job from it. Um, so, I mean, coming out of the pandemic, I know we're what now almost 4 years into it. And I think that the need for connection is just so strong right now. And volunteerism allows you to address that and allow you to take action in those social issues that you care about.
Absolutely. You all have an awards nomination period that's about to open up fairly soon.
Yes.
So talk about the awards, talk about the nomination procedures. Go ahead and start diving in.
Yes. So we're getting ready to launch the 38th annual Mary Catherine Strobel Volunteer Awards. Um, these awards are near and dear to our hearts here at Hands On Nashville in the United Way. Mary Catherine was a longtime volunteer veteran in our community, recently lost her son, Charles Strobel, and we're really looking to highlight the most impactful volunteers over the last year. So anybody who has volunteered, it doesn't have to be with our 160 partners. It could be someone who's just bringing food to a neighbor. We are looking for folks to nominate volunteers on our website, and it's hon.org. And we will open up nominations come February 1 and have a 2-week period. And that for nominations, we'll vet them, have a screening session, and then we will have a period of public voting. And then in May, on May 8th, we'll be having the actual ceremony and announce the award recipients for the Strobel Volunteer Awards.
We've talked about the importance. We've talked about how easy you make it with Hands On Nashville. How can the community get involved? I mean, obviously, we were just talking about the nominations and that process and that piece of the equation, but give us some other ways that the community can help Hands On Nashville.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we would really like is for our community to commit to volunteering once a month. So that is not a lot of time. It's 1 to 3 hours of time. Just go to our website, create an account. It's just requires your first name, last name, and email address. And you're able to pick out a volunteer project and volunteer once a month. You can also give to Hands On Nashville. We cannot support our Nashville community and our nonprofit community without our supporters. And so we really do rely on your financial support in order to expand these volunteer services. So we ask you to donate. Again, that's on our website, hon.org/donate. And we would really just love any support, whether it's your time or your treasure.
And I think when you look at Hands On Nashville and the value, it's the value obviously for how easy you make make it for the volunteers to volunteer and get involved, but also working alongside the nonprofits to make sure that the volunteer experiences are meaningful and impactful. And so you're really serving on both sides of the equation. And then in the larger context in the community to, like you're doing, work with the companies to make it easy for them. And so there's a valuable role that you play, this intersection, really for the benefit of the community at large for Hands On Nashville in terms of the value in what you do and why that financial support especially is so important to impact and support your mission and programs and efforts. And so I think that's an important piece of the equation for people to understand. Mention again the website, social media. Where do we go to learn more about Hands On Nashville and start taking those next steps to get involved?
Yep. You can visit us at hon.org, on.org. And you can also follow us on all of the social media accounts you can imagine. It's at HO Nashville. And we would love to have you follow along with us.
Give us one thing as we close out that puts a smile on your face that you're super excited for. Obviously, the growth and expansion and the corporate impact, but for 2024, what excites you?
I'm excited for the Strobel Awards coming up, making it bigger and better, and so we can celebrate the volunteers that really do shine a light on our Middle Tennessee community.
The website again is hon.org, obviously for Hands On Nashville. Mary Martin, Development Director with Hands On Nashville, thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.